In this video, I'm going to show you how to record in HearThis, but also tips and tricks if you want to do post-production to your audio. So let's get started. So now we're going to do some recording. So go to the book. We have it all set up, the language, and we want to go to 1 Timothy. And then there's an introduction. I say if you take the time to translate the introduction, you should probably record it. And so here we have the heading. It says right here. And then you just can come in and press here or hold the space bar. I'll click over here. And I'm not going to read it, but here is the introduction, the first part. And so then this turned blue, and then you can play it back. Here is the introduction, the first part. If you like that, you can click here to move on, or you can press the right arrow button to move on. And it showed that you recorded it. So there's 11 blocks. And then we move on. So we're going to go on to chapter 1 so I can show you more examples. So we have the heading here. And if you watch my other videos, it says chapter 1. And I strongly encourage people to say 1 Timothy chapter 1. Because when you are flipping through and you just hear chapter 1 or chapter 12, you do not know what chapter 12. But if you say 1 Timothy chapter 1, then they know exactly where they are. It's just a little bit more effort, but it works out a lot better. So we're going to start here. 1 Timothy chapter 1. And then I can listen back. 1 Timothy chapter 1. Okay, and I'm going to go to the next one. And this is where the timing quite doesn't get right that I don't like about HearThis, that, I mean, we did that, and now I'm going to start right away here. And I like to have space between the chapter title and the reading. So we're going to go here and read verse 1. And I kind of held on to it long, so we can play it back. So we're going to go here and read verse 1. Okay. And then we can go to the next one, and we'll just go along. This is 1, 2, or B, or whatever, and it's going to do that. And oh, I'm just having problems recording this. So I stopped and I said, I'm going to take this and break it up. So I'll come down here, come to here, and let's break it at the call here, that comma there, but that's still the call is a natural break in this language. I've done enough recording to know that that's a natural break. So we're going to do that. So this is the first part of verse 1b. And then we can listen to it. So this is the first part of verse 1b. Okay. And then we come down here. This is the second part of verse 1b. And then you can listen to them together. So this is the first part of verse 1b. This is the second part of verse 1b. Okay, for our sake, we'll move on. So there's a big space between here and here, and we can clean that up in post-production. But I'd highly suggest that they would re-record this again and to make sure that there wasn't that big space, because that's not a good space. So we go to the next one, and we just work our way through doing the recording. And so this is verse 1, part C, I guess. I don't like that. This is verse 1, part C, I guess. And I could be using the tab button instead of clicking here, and I can use the space button, I can use the arrow here, and I can use the arrow to move back. Verse 1, C. We talked about skipping, so I'm going to go to Acts here, and I'm going to go to chapter 1, and you can see right here, this little white line, because we have a \r there, this says skip this block. Click here, you can see that it is the reference, and so that, I just want to point out, that's what that is. When you see that little slash there, that means you're supposed to skip that. And it says, it's orange here, skip block, do not record, but I don't know if you can record or not. Let's give it a go. Nope, it says I can't do it. So it's telling me that I want to skip that. I recorded several verses here, and I put very little space. I would just go verse 7, and then I'd let go right away. But now I'm going to put a little bit more space, and in post-production, you'll see why we do this, or how it can be helpful. Verse 7, another verse in verse 7. Oh, they have several sentences in verse 7. One more sentence in verse 7. So you can see that I'm holding the button before and after a lot longer. Verse 8. I didn't give it as much space there. Now I'm at a heading. We like to record head talk or heading before this because the person might not be able to see this. And we want to put a space before it and then say head talk, read this, have a little bit of space, and then they'll go to the next verse. Section head, Paul, eagle, eagle, eagle. Now we record verse 12. And you can see that I've been holding the button. Now, we've been proofing these as we went along, but we can go here and bring this back here, and you can do a little bit of proofing a little bit faster. You can hit here, 1 Timothy chapter 1. And then you can hit the here. And then, so we're going to go here and read verse 1. But if you want to make it sound more natural, you hit the arrow button and then tab right away. So this is the first part of verse 1b. Okay, arrow. Verse 1c. Arrow, tab. Verse 2, recording, and we're going to put them tight together. Arrow, tab. Verse 2b, and this is going to be tight together. Okay, so let's say we've recorded all. I actually have this section right here that doesn't have anything recorded. And so we'll see in Audacity what this looks like. But the next thing we want to do is export our audio. So we're going to go up here and we're going to say export sound files. And you click here. And then you have all these different options. And so I'm going to show you the different output formats. A lot of it is folder structure, but I want to show you the files that it puts out. Okay, if you choose AudiBible, it puts out a wave. FLAC, of course, puts out a FLAC. MegaVoice, it puts out a wave, then MP3, OGG, and then Saber, and then ScriptureAppBuilder. Unless you're specifically putting it for the Saber or the Scripture app, the files I'm going to make are going to go into the Scripture app, but I would put out a wave, FLAC, or this wave right here, the MegaVoice, because it's a higher quality audio, and it's better to have the higher quality audio when you're doing editing. But I like FLAC, and you can watch a video why I like FLAC. So we come here, and we can choose what we want. I'm going to choose FLAC, and then you can have the verse index format. It doesn't hurt to have this, so I think it's good to have it. And when we're doing our post-production in Audacity, it is actually better and easier if you have this. And when we get to that, you'll see why this helps out to have all the phrases. And then you can do entire project or do the current book. Typically do the current book, and then you can change the destination where you want it to go. So click on here, and it brings it up. And here is my project. And so it's not SBE, this is Wowali, but here's where I'm going to put all my Audacity files when I make them. Here's where all the HearThis file is going to go. And then we have the masters, my labels, distribution, and you need to watch my post-production video to know how to do that. So I'm going to say, here's this, click on here, and it's not going to do much because it's just part of a chapter. So I'm going to say export, and there it converted it to FLAC, join things together, and it's done. So here's my project folder. If you go into the here's this, where I had a destination, then here they made a folder. And then we have the FLAC, click on there. And then, I did do a little bit of recording on the introduction, and here are the labels. And so if I click on this, I have it, I click on here, it's set up to open in Audacity, so I'm going to open it in Audacity. And here's the project. Now I can import the labels, import labels, and it was this one right here, and it's going to give an error message, and I'll show you why. Okay, it says one or more can't be imported, but here it is. And so here it does 9, and then it did skip 10. We didn't do 10, and so 10. So when you skip something, it jams it all together. So you have to be aware and look to make sure that it's going to do it correctly. Okay, that error message when I opened it in Audacity, and when I open this up here, you can see right here at the very top, Audacity does not recognize these lines. It didn't hurt anything, and so it's fine to just leave those there. You don't have to delete them. So that is recording in Here's This. Quite simple, very easy, and I'll show you in the next 2 videos how to set up Audacity and how to do post-production if that's what you prefer to do. But I love to do post-production on this, so if you're very interested in having me do post-production on your Here's This project, contact me at scripturerecording@gmail.com, and we can see if I can help you. If you found any value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share so YouTube will recommend it to others.